My name is Ethan Walker. I'm 29 years old and I live in Manchester, United Kingdom. Life has always felt steady and predictable until I discovered a betrayal that shattered my trust. I thought I knew love, but sometimes the person you cherish most can become the one who cuts the deepest, leaving you questioning everything you believed. She was my girlfriend, someone I believed was devoted and caring. We shared dreams, laughter, and quiet moments that felt sacred. But behind the smiles and routine, she carried secrets that would eventually destroy the world I had built around her. Every memory suddenly felt tainted, like a photograph slowly burning from the edges. This story isn't just about heartbreak, it's about betrayal, the lengths a person will go when trust is broken, and the fine line between justice and revenge. It's about how I lost control, and how discovering the truth forced me to confront parts of myself I never knew existed. This is my story, raw and unfiltered, from love to devastation. I never imagined the person I loved could betray me so completely. Her messages lit up my phone late at night, not with words for me, but for another man, a flirtation that crossed lines I thought were sacred. The more I read, the more my heart sank. Every text, every laugh at my expense made me feel invisible, a joke in someone else's story. My trust shattered in a heartbeat, leaving me raw and furious. The thought that she could smile while texting him, planning encounters behind my back, was unbearable. I felt emasculated and humiliated, my life suddenly reduced to a background in her secret amusement. Her words weren't just messages, they were daggers twisting into my pride. The realization that everything we shared was a plaything in her hands hit me like a storm, leaving me cold, calculating, and heartbroken at the same time. Anger bubbled inside me, fierce and uncontrollable. I confronted her, demanding she end the contact, block him, and respect what we had. Her laughter over being caught felt like salt in the wound. I couldn't reconcile the person I knew with the one who mocked our love to someone else. The image of her smiling while plotting her next move made my stomach churn. Something inside snapped. I had to take action before my pain consumed me. I accessed her phone, a decision I never thought I'd make. What I saw confirmed my worst fears: flirtatious exchanges, sexual innuendos, and plans that excluded me completely. Every message a testament to betrayal. My heart pounded with rage and humiliation as I realized she didn't regret it, she celebrated it. It wasn't just cheating, it was a performance she enjoyed, and I had been nothing more than a spectator of my own heartbreak. The line between heartbreak and vengeance blurred quickly. I felt a surge of powerlessness transform into a desperate drive to make her understand the gravity of her actions. Screenshots were taken, my hands trembling with emotion. I knew sharing them would change everything, but the thought of reclaiming some control, of forcing her to face public consequences, gave me a twisted sense of relief. I was stepping into unknown territory, but I couldn't stop myself. When I hit post, the world seemed to freeze. The screenshots of her betrayal flashed across her own social media accounts, Instagram and Snapchat, like silent bombs. I watched the view count rise, faces of friends, co-workers, and family appearing one after another. My heart pounded with a strange mixture of pain and power. I wasn't proud, but for the first time, she would feel exposed the way I had. I sent the same screenshots to her manager, her boss, even to her mother. Each message felt like another nail in the coffin of our past. My hands trembled, adrenaline burning through me as if I was watching justice unfold in real time. Somewhere deep inside, I knew this wasn't who I wanted to be. Yet the rage demanded its moment, and I gave in completely. Her phone must have exploded with notifications. When she finally called, her voice was shaky, desperate. She tried to apologize, but it sounded hollow, rehearsed. I told her what I'd done, every single thing. Silence filled the line, then tears, curses, and a click. I sat there staring at my reflection in the black screen, realizing that revenge doesn't heal, it just changes the wound. I didn't stop there. Something inside pushed me further, like a train with no brakes. I contacted the restaurant's owner, attaching the same proof of her flirting with a manager during work hours. I expected fury or justice, but all I got was a polite legal refusal. We can't get involved in personal matters. It was like shouting into a void, and I realized not every sin is punished the way we want. The next few days blurred together. She kept her job, and I kept my silence. The anger that once felt satisfying began to rot inside me. Every message I had sent replayed in my mind, each decision echoing with regret. I had become something I didn't recognize, someone driven by spite instead of strength. The satisfaction I expected never came. Only emptiness followed. When she messaged again, it turned ugly fast. Accusations, insults, words meant to wound. I replied in kind, my bitterness spilling like venom. For a moment, it felt like we were both trapped in the same burning house, each throwing fuel instead of water. That's when I realized I wasn't punishing her anymore, I was punishing myself. That night, I stared at my reflection for a long time. The man in the mirror wasn't a victim anymore, but he wasn't a hero either. He was just broken. Someone who had let pain turn into vengeance. I whispered to myself that it was over, but deep down, I knew healing wouldn't come easily. Revenge had given me noise, not peace. The days after everything unraveled felt heavy, like walking through fog. My phone was quiet for once. No messages, no noise, just the echo of what I'd done. Her face, her voice, her laughter, they all lingered like ghosts. But somewhere inside, the storm had started to settle. I wasn't proud, but I was awake. The truth had cost me everything, yet it also forced me to see myself clearly for the first time. I decided to cut all contact, delete every thread, every image, every reminder. It felt like erasing a part of my life, but I knew I had to do it to breathe again. I packed away the memories like old letters, tucked them somewhere I wouldn't find easily. Forgiveness didn't come yet, but the act of letting go, even slightly, gave me a taste of peace I hadn't felt in months. In those quiet evenings, I started to reflect on my actions, the revenge, the humiliation, the anger. It had consumed me completely. What started as heartbreak turned into chaos that I had unleashed myself. I realized vengeance never truly evens the scales. It just drags you down to the same level of pain. Healing, I understood now, was about acceptance, not destruction. Therapy became my next step. Walking into that room for the first time felt awkward, but I needed it. I told the therapist everything, every raw emotion, every bad decision, every moment I lost control. She listened without judgment, her silence heavy, but comforting. For once, someone wasn't taking sides. She was helping me rebuild the pieces I'd shattered. Week after week, I learned to untangle my thoughts. I realized that my worth wasn't defined by someone else's betrayal or my reaction to it. Love had failed me, but it didn't mean I had to fail myself. Pain had changed me, but maybe not all change was bad. Slowly, I began rediscovering small joys. Morning walks, quiet coffee, music that didn't remind me of her. Months passed. She moved on, and so did I, though in very different ways. I heard she kept her job, kept pretending nothing happened. Maybe that's her way of coping. I don't hate her anymore. Hate requires energy, and I've learned to save mine for healing. I wish her peace, even if she never wished me the same. That to me is true freedom. One evening, standing by the river that cuts through Manchester, I watched the water move under fading light. I realized life doesn't stop because of heartbreak. It keeps flowing, carrying away what no longer belongs. I breathed deeply and let go of the last remnants of anger. I wasn't the same man who sought revenge. I was someone new, rebuilt by pain, but stronger because of it. My name is Ethan Walker, and this is where my story ends. Not in bitterness, but in rebirth. I've learned that revenge only deepens the wound, while forgiveness, even of yourself, is what finally heals it. The past will always be part of me, but it no longer defines me. I'm not who I was when I lost her. I'm who I became after I found myself again.